Welcome back to Leading Today, the podcast where we explore what leadership really looks like in real time, real organizations, and real complexity. This is the space where strategy meets people and where we talk honestly about what leaders are being asked to navigate right now. I'm glad you're here for episode 5 because today we're focusing on a leadership capability that quietly determines whether data becomes insight or noise, whether strategy sticks or stalls, and whether people stay, leave, or lean in. What are we talking about? Well, today we're talking about how emotional intelligence strengthens business intelligence and why the most effective leaders know how to read both dashboards and human dynamics. But let's start by setting the frame. Most leaders today are surrounded by data. Dashboards, KPIs, engagement scores, turnover reports, productivity metrics, and more. Business intelligence is everywhere. And yet, many organizations are still struggling with morale, burnout, turnover, and stalled innovation. That tension raises an important question. If we have more data than ever, why aren't outcomes consistently better? The answer is that data alone does not drive performance. Leaders do. And the way leaders interpret and act on data is deeply influenced by their emotional intelligence. That's our starting point. So let's define the two lanes we're trying to bring together. Business intelligence is the use of data, analytics, and insights to guide decision making. It tells us what is happening and where trends are moving. Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our own emotions and the emotions of others. You heard me say this before. It shapes how leaders communicate, respond, build trust, and make sense of complexity. These two are often treated as separate skill sets, but in practice, they are inseparable. Business intelligence gives you the map. Emotional intelligence helps you understand the terrain and the people traveling with you. And that brings us to one of the most important leadership habits. Emotionally intelligent leaders practice, and that is they pause long enough to ask a better question. Instead of rushing to fix what the data shows, they ask, what problem am I actually being asked to solve? When turnover spikes, is the problem really staffing, or is it trust? Is it leadership behavior, workload, or psychological safety? When engagement scores dip, is it motivation or is it clarity? Is it inclusion or feeling unheard? Research consistently shows that leaders with higher emotional intelligence are stronger critical thinkers because they interpret data in context. They look beyond symptoms and address root causes. That ability is business acumen in action. And when leaders do this well, performance follows. Peer-reviewed research shows that emotionally intelligent leadership is strongly associated with higher employee engagement, stronger job performance, and improved operational effectiveness. Engagement is not a soft metric. It is a leading indicator of productivity, quality, safety, and customer outcomes. When leaders apply emotional intelligence to what business intelligence reveals, they create environments where people can actually perform. From a data perspective, this shows up as better efficiency, fewer errors, stronger collaboration, and more consistent results. Now, let's talk about morale and turnover, because this is where emotional intelligence becomes very tangible. High morale is not about being cheerful or avoiding hard conversations. It's about leaders creating trust, fairness, clarity, and psychological safety. Research shows that emotionally intelligent leaders significantly reduce voluntary turnover because people feel respected and supported even in high-demand environments. From a business intelligence standpoint, lower turnover directly impacts the bottom line. Recruitment costs decrease, onboarding costs decrease, productivity loss decreases. Replacement costs alone can reach up to twice an employee's annual salary. So even small improvements in retention, driven by emotionally intelligent leadership, translate into measurable financial value. And once leaders see that connection, emotional intelligence stops being optional. It becomes strategic. And more than that, it becomes a strategic advantage. That same dynamic applies to innovation. Innovation does not happen in cultures of fear or silence. It happens where people feel safe enough to speak up, challenge assumptions, and experiment. They understand that failure is part of the process towards getting to a great innovation. Emotional intelligence, well, it allows leaders to manage conflict productively and respond to feedback without defensiveness. Business intelligence might show stagnant growth or missed opportunities, but emotional intelligence helps leaders uncover the human barriers preventing innovation. When psychological safety increases, organizations see measurable gains in idea generation, process improvement, speed to execution, and adaptability. These are not abstract benefits. They show up in operational metrics and revenue performance. This also directly impacts talent attraction. High-performing talent does not choose organizations. They choose leaders. Emotionally intelligent leaders create environments where people feel seen, developed, and valued. From a business intelligence lens, this shows up in stronger applicant pools, shorter time to fill roles, and a stronger employer brand. Over time, organizations led by emotionally intelligent leaders build deeper organizational intelligence because they retain and attract people who think critically, collaborate well, and innovate consistently. Research and meta-analyses reinforce this connection. Emotional intelligence is positively associated with leadership effectiveness, productivity, and profitability. Teams led by high EI leaders often demonstrate higher productivity and significantly lower turnover. These outcomes are reflected in P&L statements, workforce dashboards, and operational scorecards. Emotional intelligence also became a force multiplier for business intelligence leaders when they understood how people drive every metric they track. So here's a simple way to picture this. Think of business intelligence as a GPS system. It shows the route, the speed, and perhaps even the obstacles ahead. Emotional intelligence is the leader's awareness of the people on the bus. Are they exhausted? Are they confused? Are they disengaged or motivated? You can have the best GPS in the world, but if the driver ignores the passengers, the bus will eventually empty. Great leaders know how to integrate both. They use data to steer and emotional intelligence to sustain the journey. So what does this mean for leading today? It means leadership is no longer about choosing between data-driven or people-centered. The best leaders are both. They ask better questions, interpret data with empathy, and they act in ways that build trust while driving results. When leaders integrate emotional intelligence with business intelligence, the outcomes are clear and measurable. They are higher engagement, lower turnover, stronger innovation, better decision-making, and healthier financial performance. That's not just good leadership. That's smart business. And that's what it truly means to lead today. Thank you for spending time with me on Leading Today. If this episode resonated with you, I encourage you to reflect on the questions you're asking of your data and the way you're showing up for your people. I'm Dr. Lisa Bagby. Please subscribe and join me next time as we continue exploring what leadership looks like in practice, not just in theory. Until then, lead well, lead intentionally, and keep leading today.